Reuters announced that Merck found a drug that is going to cut the risk of death, hospitalization by 50%, ladies and gentlemen.
God is great, and God is great.
Is a bombshell, dude.
That's great, dude.
I was so happy. And then I scrolled down to the comments. And people are just fighting. What is this COVID-19 vaccine that those who are hesitant must be rebuked this much? A vaccine. So this is the pro-vaccine. This is great news, but hopefully it won't energize the anti-vaxxers. It should be noticed that this is less effective than getting the vaccine. Listen.
That's fair.
Considering the misinformation out there, considering convincing people to take this drug will be a big challenge. Oh, that's true. This guy's basically like, it's $705 per pill. Seems reasonable, and that's just a cost. I'm sure the price will increase. The reality,
$705 per pill
for the
like making it, like that's
no. I guess the U.S. paid. The U.S. bought like 1 million doses already.
At
1.7 million
dollars.
I don't know. I know if that's actually true. 1.7 million doses at a cost of $1.2 billion. You have to take 10 doses, $705 per. I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
Per pill, $7,000 for the whole thing, and then interesting. Is that an issue? See, we talked about Canada socialism. Is this America capitalist hospital shit?
Oh my gosh,
Medical.
Amish, how do you think these drugs get made? Do you know how much money it costs to make a drug?
I mean,
yes.
I guess so.
Where are the other life-saving drugs coming out of?
Europe's not making drugs?
No, they're using American drugs, dude. Because guess where you make the money? Look, Amish, do you think magical drug formulas come out of the fairy of drugs? Like somebody has to make these.
I guess so. Yeah, no, the capitalism helps it. Okay. Hey.
No, I mean,
God bless America.
No.
God bless America.
It pisses me off because people go, it's so expensive in America. It's like, yeah, this is where all the life-saving drugs come from.
I guess. I mean, if that's true, and that's the cost of it. That's it.
No, because listen. As a business, okay, you have to think like a business for a second. Let's say you're a pharmaceutical person.
Yeah.
Let's say you're a great guy, right? You want to make drugs that are going to save the world, just in theory. I know everyone's saying they're all just greedy pigs, right?
Yeah.
Sure,
you gotta have a profit.
They're as greedy as anybody else. No. But if you're a good guy, do you know how hard it is to get FDA approved? You've got to submit trial after trial. Stage 3, stage 4. You got to go through so many different trials. How do you fund those? They cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, possibly millions of dollars. So,
I guess this is the only way. I guess, yeah. I don't know.
Well,
I mean, if
you
this
can
is the only way,
crowdfund it. No. Early on in COVID, I promoted a project that was crowdfunding an antiviral. Okay.
Yeah.
Their biggest problem was funding for these studies. They were like, look, we don't know where to turn. And people were like, great, let's have everyone was happy about the antiviral. No one wants to pay for it. No one wants to pay for the
pharmaceuticals is better in capitalist, but then healthcare is better in socialist.
But
how about that?
Where do you get the pharmaceutical drugs to treat the healthcare?
From capital, I guess. From capital, I mean, if this is what you're saying, like this is where all the good stuff comes from.
No. I'm not saying America's healthcare system isn't completely, irrevocably screwed up, right?
Right.
I agree with you. I'm saying people who are like people who are saying there shouldn't be profit in pharmacy are idiots because they don't understand that that's how the drugs get produced. There is no innovation in drug making. If all of it's like there shouldn't be a profit margin on the pill, then there's never going to be an innovation in new drugs. There's just going to be the same crappy drugs with crappy side effects.
Right. I mean, I guess
this is the reality nobody wants to confront. Everyone wants the miracle drug. Nobody wants to pay for it. Where do these things come from? Because think about it. You're having to bat 1,000 times at a drug before you get a drug that's worth it. Because you got 1,000 drugs, 1,000 ideas, right? You got to put all of them through. Okay, 500 of them make it to stage 1. Right? These are bad numbers, right?
Yeah. It's like TV. It's like TV. It's just like nothing gets made. It's
250
like everything's
of them get into stage 2. 10 of them get into stage 3. 1 of them maybe makes it to market. You're paying for all that development for 1,000 drugs.
So what did you think of that guy?
Where's the money come from?
What did you think of that guy in the documentary? Remember the guy in the documentary that everyone was like hated? He was like, sorry guys, capitalism. This is it. It's the guy. He was like charging. Remember they made a whole documentary. They made a whole documentary series about money and he had one full episode Martin Scarelli or something. Is that the guy?
Yeah.
Because
I honestly have heard him defend himself.
Yeah.
His messaging was screwed up. And his problem was he got into there was something where he wasn't charging for insulin or something, or he was gouging. Okay, that was wrong. He made a few points about this specific drug that actually did make sense. It was a different drug. It was this like life-saving drug he bought out some rights to like some drug for this rare blood condition. But what he said, he goes, look, he jacked up the price, right? And everyone's like, how could you? And he goes, look, basically this drug sucks. It's like killing you while you take it. My company wants to create a better drug. And being the fact that there are only 1,000 patients with this condition, I can only sell it 1,000 times per year, whatever. The numbers aren't making sense, but just consider this.
Yeah.
So you have to have a high profit margin. Otherwise, there's no research, basically, whatever. Now, is that just an excuse to profit? Maybe, I don't know. But that is a legitimate point where it's like, all right, if you're selling a drug that treats the cold, you need like $1 per pill and you're making billions of dollars. But if you're selling a drug that cures like this 20 people have the illness and you're curing it, there's no money in it. So that's why rare diseases go underdeveloped, because there's no money in it. But obviously it's a great headline to be like, look at how much they're charging for this like rare blood condition pill. It's like, okay, obviously in a perfect world, that all falls on the insurance companies, and we have correct healthcare insurance where the healthcare insurance companies have to provide healthcare to the people with the rare diseases. And the people with who are developing the rare drugs can get paid to develop those rare drugs a proper amount so they can continue to develop rare disease drugs.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's it.
That's like, this is 7,000. People get it all twisted though, because they're like, look at the money. There shouldn't be any money in pharmacy. And it's like, all right, great. We'll have fun, dying. Like, we need better drugs, man.
Yeah, maybe drugs is one of those things that you got to do it like that. I don't know. Hey, not everything has to be one or the other. I just think some things work better one way, some things work better the other way. This could be one of those things that work better.
I think, I agree that like healthcare has to be, you have to provide healthcare to people. Like, I'm a big believer in like, you can't just like turn people away. You have to provide healthcare. You have to provide, like, there's like, it should not, what is it? Healthcare is a human right. Totally agree with that. Totally agree.
Yeah. And like,
the part that I disagree with is like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that there is a suffering that comes from like trying not to let it be just for some ideological thing. It's like in America, it just seems like they didn't do it out of some kind of a odd ideology. Like there was a part of it was like lobbying from from healthcare companies, whatever, to keep it privatized. But a lot of it was just fear of like, oh my God, are we going to become communists or something? Like there was this fear of like, we can't let the government do stuff. And, you just got to look at each section and rationally think about that. Like drugs might be better profit, and then that might be better non-profit, or like just government run.
Yeah.
Everyone gets the healthcare.
It's kind of hard because I'm also a giant believer that nobody screws things up more than the government. It's like there's almost no system worse for doing things than the government, generally speaking. But that said, you can't turn people away. Like
you can't turn people away. And also that belief by a lot of people makes it shittier too. Like, Europe is pulling off a lot of good stuff from their government. They get their government to do a lot of good programs, a lot of well-organized, cheaper, like decently run stuff. Like, for example, healthcare. Like that is one of those ones. But there's other stuff like prison system. Like by letting it get like too in the hands of people who just want to make money and who can lobby people to, like with the U.S. prison system, there is an issue where there is a lobby saying like, hey, make these laws more stringent so we can put more people in jail. That can really affect a society. We've seen over the years, like that can really, that can be an issue if you just keep it completely profit driven. So Europe, it has a decent system on certain things, you know what I'm saying? But in America, there is a belief that like government screws everything up. So then a lot of people just go in and they're like, see, I screwed it up. I'm government. I screwed it up.
No,
like there's people who do that.
No, but this is a real thing. I mean, you can't deny that Rogers Internet is a disaster. Like, isn't Rogers is
a very competitive company though. From day one, they've gotten some money. Bell is the government side.
Oh, sorry.
And overall, the industry here has been heavily influenced. So I see what you're saying. Like, it is kind of socialized. Like, But people, you know what people say about telecoms in Canada? They say the issue is that it's a less people in a large distance. So it's just never been profitable.
Well, sorry.
I was just going to say, like at one point, nobody would have done it. And then the government was like, come on, can someone do it? So then they made, I think, the Bell Corporation, or they just gave them a bunch of money to build all the lines.
Yeah.
Because they were like, nobody wants to do it. Nobody cares about connecting these all.
I've got to fight your point that like everyone's just inventing the idea the government screws something up. Like, do you know about like the VA and stuff in America?
Yeah.
Like the VA healthcare.
They're not paying out the healthcare money or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just like constantly finding ways to basically not do the things they need to do. The system's a complete train wreck. I mean, it's like the government says, "Oh, the problem with making things government totally government run is there's no one to turn to when things go wrong." So like when things go wrong in capitalism, sometimes there's like a competitor that you can be like, "All right, you just do it." And you just change your choice, and then they have to change. Yeah. But there's no real way to bully or like get your way with like, hey, we're not taking care of our veterans. Who are you gonna call? The government? Are you gonna call up Biden and go, hey, can you actually help? Like, it's too big of a behemoth. You can't rationalize with that. You can't fight with the government. Like, oh, who do you have a beef with? The government. Oh, just write them a bad Yelp review. I'm sure they're going to change their mind.
You know what I mean? let me do a pushback on that now. So I would say that what's really killing the VA people is the profit driven, because the military industrial complex, it is half profit driven. So you have half the people coming in and being like, let's do this and let's do this because I can make some money on this. And then the VA is like kind of left behind as an afterthought, I feel like. So this happens a lot in government. Military guys are good because they're military guys. They're aggressive, like Jocko. I think it's a good time to bring him up again. But, they're aggressive. So they go into the government and they can be aggressive there too. They go in with these government bureaucrats, these lefties, and they go, hey, here's what we're going to do or everyone's going to die. You want that on your head? So just shut the fuck up. And this is what we're doing. That's how World War I started. And I'm talking about like to this day, even with Afghanistan, a lot of people are saying a lot of the screw up is because military contractors are like, I don't want to leave. I'm making too much money. I'm not leaving. So if a bunch of people die and a bunch of people, it's mismanaged, whatever, good. We'll use that and we'll tell them that. I know that's a bit of a conspiracy, but like with VA, I think they're suffering from a bit of that, where it's like, who's getting rich? Like, because nobody's getting rich on the other side, nobody's paying attention to it. So it's just becoming this thing on the side. It's like, who cares about that? No,
but I'm pointing to an example of government kind of failing, and you're just saying like,
it's the corporations going in and corrupting the
you're like it's the capitalism in the government that's making it fail.
No, but that's the mix is really bad too, right? Like don't you see, like even a lot of libertarians talk about this where they say capitalism would work so much better if they couldn't lobby the government. Lobbying the government, this is a corruption. It corrupts capitalism itself.
Right, and socialists would say, look, if you're mixing it with this weird capitalism thing, it's screwing it up.
I would say clean capitalism would work better than that. I'm just saying that, you know what I mean? Then this half government. Yeah, I think that's what that is the counterpoint, I guess. Is like, okay, yeah, they're screwing up, but like, who are they competing with for this money? They got a bunch of military heads. They got a bunch of corporate sales guys coming in and lobbying government and saying, give me the money, give me the money, give me the money. And then you got the VA that's like, please, these are the guys who fought it before. Like, we need to help them out. And I think a lot of people just
the VA is basically saying like, no, you can't get help. There's a lot of claims that are being denied.
They're being denied because they don't have any money, right? Like they're just not getting their funding.
No, they're like, sorry, you didn't file within 12 months, and because you got cancer like at 13 months, we basically can't cover you.
So isn't that their way of like saving money though? Because they're broke and they don't want to pay out anyone? Because that's what always insurance companies do. They just find excuses not to pay people out.
You've just got to understand, America has a rich tradition of screwing over their veterans. It's like old as apple pie. It's like, we promise you, hey, go to war. Go to work, go to work, go to work, go to work. And then whenever you do, we're like, all right, well, come back, have a nice life. And like, you're all like jacked up. You got like PTSD. I mean, it's like, it's an old tradition, dude.
I guess it's
welcome to America. Tradition. Welcome to the military.
I think it's every military. I think militaries are like, well, you left, pussy. Why'd you leave? I'm an admiral. I'm making bank.
Yeah, I you know what it's weird.
Oh, what do you have, PTSD?
The military can be a sweet gig. Like, there are things about the military that is OP, but yeah, no, we do screw people like who like are genuinely screwed up by war. we screw them. The people who like can sit a desk job, if you can sit a desk job for 20 years in the American military, you're good, dude.
You're good. You'll get paid. You'll get everything.
You get retirement. Everybody gets disability. Everybody like hurts their back, a week before retiring, and they get full disability, and then they don't pay property taxes on their VA loans. Like there is like that sweet, like government thing.
That sweet government thing. Because you can sneak into a government job through that.
But yeah, we screw our vets hard. Like the ones that like are actually like messed up. We're like, yeah, we're not going to cover it.
Yeah, it's a big issue, man. I mean, that's I don't know.
But can we? But my point is, okay, you know what? Why we derailed? This is, you know what pisses me off? The reason we derailed is the same reason that I'm mad about this whole thing, which is that I read 50% study, reduce hospitalization. I'm like, yes, and then Amish and the rest of the world goes, how much money they making, huh?
No.
How much money they making? Interesting. No. Interesting that they're
it's
making
just weird
a profit.
7,000 because I feel like it's the old pill just repackaged, isn't it? Let's be honest.
No, it's not. It's not, dude.
I'm a scammer. Gonna rip you off, take you down.